All right, y'all, Leland Live, talking 99.5. Man, we are getting after it this afternoon. It is Blakely's Bouquets. Let me go ahead and talk about them for a minute. These are the folks that can absolutely do your gift giving. As we head into spring, man, we got a lot of flower occasions coming up. You got Mother's Day right around the corner. Easter, if you want a special piece for your centerpiece of your table with your family coming over this Easter, they'll do it for you at Blakely's and do it very, very well. Make it beautiful. Make it custom if you want something particular in your house. And then, of course, graduation season and birthdays. And it's always a good time to give flowers. And maybe you got somebody in your life that just needs to hear from you. Send them flowers and do it with the personal touch that you get at Blakely's. I do appreciate them. Great little shop over in Homewood. If you're in that area and you want to pop by, they'd love to see you. But otherwise, I mean, if you're like me, man, they've made it easy for me to know absolutely nothing about flowers and still pull it off because of their website. I mean, they've got prearranged pictures. You sort of click on the design you like. Prices are all right there. You can pay them online, put your message in. They even handwrite the message so it looks more personal when it goes to the delivery. And then they track the delivery and give you a little text and let you know it made it there when you're trying to surprise somebody. That's always a good feeling. Y'all, it is Blakely's Bouquets. They put two words together, two names together, Blake and Lee. I'll try to break it down for you so you can remember this when you go to check them out online. It's BlakeLeesBouquets.com, BlakeLeesBouquets.com. All right, let me start with the weather again because it's getting close. We had a little cell to develop back down to the south and the west of Birmingham that could be affecting traffic here in just a little bit. This is not the severe part of the storm, but the air is all soupy and unstable, and it's been breezy all day, and we got a really big storm coming through tonight. Just in size, unless this thing winds down, it's going to be to the wee hours of the morning before we quit hearing thunder. For the most part, this is on a level 2 out of 5 in terms of severity. Outside chance of a tornado, but there's not a great possibility of that, but enough that we need to be weather aware. The big problems are probably going to be directly straight line winds, power outages, trees coming down, that kind of stuff as it blows through tonight. Kind of an early spring event coming in late, but it looks like they ramped up the timeline a little bit. And again, I always have to describe this in different ways because we've got people that live 100 miles apart listening to the show. On the west side of the state, it'll be much earlier. Some of y'all are starting to see the edge of it now. If you're back toward Winfield and those areas, you're kind of getting a lot more of it. For the rest of us from the city center all the way sort of down 65, more of a 7 or 8 o'clock time frame for real development. And then, of course, further west, it gets later. This whole thing moves off into Georgia. And it may be 2 or 3 in the morning. That was one of the surprises when I was just looking at the trajectory on the map. One of the surprises is it may be 2 or 3 in the morning before all the rain's gone and everything's kind of settled down. So going to be a long night. Sometimes it's good sleeping weather when it's nice rumbly thunder out there, but there's going to be a lot of wind associated with it. And if we get any updates, of course, I will let you know about that too. We keep up with all these things and try to keep you up to speed. One more time, have a weather radio. It's that time of the year anyway. You should have one in your home at all times. But especially to me, situations, we have so much weather information available to us now. I'm old enough to remember when the weather radio may be the only thing where you could get a forecast. You'd hit that little button and hear that computer telling you what was going on. And then it was very general for your area. Now they're more specific to your zone, and they're just designed to wake you out of a sleep. So the biggest use of them nowadays is to alert you when you otherwise would not know. During the day, I mean, we get the warnings and updates. If you're listening to this show, you're certainly going to know. But at night, it could catch you by surprise. So have that weather radio and go ahead and just get it in place for the rest of the storm season and have a plan. I'll just go through it real quick. Know where to go in your home, the center of the home, lowest floor. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. And I've seen lives saved with that advice over the years. It's no joke. We do have crazy weather this time of the year. So start working on that. And here's another little small tip just for me. Talk to your kids about it. Kids get nervous. They're looking to you for comfort and security, even older kids. And if you explain to them how it goes and why you're doing it, show them where you're going to go. When we get into the thick of the season, there'll be advice of having, we get into real tornado threats, having some head protection. A lot of families have bicycle helmets and motorcycle helmets and sports helmets. available in your home. Years ago, scientists figured out head injuries were a big cause of the deaths. It's flying debris. Sometimes it is, a wall collapsing on people. We got this movie image that people get sucked up like a vacuum. That's rare. Largely, it's flying debris, things coming at you and hitting you in the face and the head or in the torso. So just protect yourself that way. Walk your kids through it. And I'm telling you, I've been through this when I had younger kids, and I've always been kind of a weather guy when in terms of being aware of this stuff. And I remember they're just calmer because they know the drill. Might even want to practice it with them. And so that they're not as afraid. There are not so many questions that they ask when you're trying to get them in their PJs down to the safe place in your home. They know what you're doing and why you're doing it. And the message to me that you would tell them is you're just keeping them safe. It's the smart, safe thing to do because we do live in the South and tornadoes can be deadly. I'd like to think that our forecasters in particular, and I guess us by way of a megaphone when that happens, we've saved some lives over the years. I'm not even in doubt about that. Just by continuing to pound that message and give people that advice and get them out of harm's way. And you can see that by much lower death tolls nowadays, even with massive outbreaks that even hit population centers. People are smarter and they're reacting in the right way. And it's inconvenient, man, to get the warning and have to go run and do that for 10, 15 minutes. And then you get irritated because you stopped what you were doing and nothing happened, but be glad nothing happened. The timeline is somewhere between 7 and maybe 2 in the morning, depending on where you live tonight. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Just wanted to do it one more time before we call it a night tonight, which is coming up here rapidly. 545-9950 is the phone number. If you want to get on the show tonight, we got time for some calls right now. Things seem to have slowed down just a little bit. We've been tracking a lot of things, the Iran war, the SAVE Act, other little political matters that are out there. Let me go back to the Iran situation real quick. I just saw on my TV screens an update from Israel. There's been another sort of barrage of missile launches at Israel. So far, they've been able to contain it. You'll see a lot of false information that, they're looking for propaganda over in the Middle East that somehow the Iranians are showing some fight. And they just have not been successful. They make these launches. It allows us to identify from space, by the way. Space Force is the agency finding these launchers the minute they launch. That gives us an opportunity to take them out, even the mobile launchers. And then the Iron Dome has been very capable. Shrapnel gets through. These cluster munitions can still do damage, but they've been very, very capable at fending off most of all these missile attacks. The Iranians still maintain some ability to get missiles hurled at their neighbors. There's a report today that the Arab states are getting together. They're having a meeting on them going on offense militarily in this situation. In a million years, you wouldn't think of seeing Saudi Air Force jets flying alongside the Israelis with a common enemy, but that just says a lot about who this enemy is to that region and to the world. Anybody that demurs from that or just makes this simply about Israel is just ignorant on history, especially the last 47 years and what this threat has become. And we're dealing with it. And in the future, the Strait of Hormuz is freer. The people are freer. World economics are not held hostage by these maniacs. Fewer people are killed. We had a good question earlier in the show, a woman that was confronted by somebody that was pissed off about they said 15 lives lost. I'm not sure the total is that high yet, but even so, you can't dismiss that. That is heartbreak and pain for families who've had somebody pay the ultimate sacrifice. But on the other side of that, I am stunned that the losses are that low. Y'all, it's only been 11 days. I've made a lot of World War II comparisons tonight, but 11 days? Listen to how spoiled we are as Americans. You got people on the other side that want to declare victory and say we're done. They just want it to be over. And I understand that inclination. But until those people can run out of their homes and into the streets and take their country back, we've got to keep this pressure campaign up, and we got to eviscerate the ground situation that is the biggest lethal threat to them. And then, of course, the missiles in the Navy, that's being done by the hour, and it's getting better and better all the time. The news has been a little all over the place with it today, and who knows what tomorrow brings, but It's a worthy cause. And 11 days, I think, is fine. There was that 12-day war when Israel had to shoot back and forth, and it was just them. That was also part of the whole situation after the October 7th massacre. And then of course, like I said, they've tried to draw the Arab nations into it by putting pressure on them, and it's only pissed them off. And it's years of hostility toward that government in Iran that has led. I mean, when you got the Qataris and the Saudis and Oman and all those Arab Peninsula countries saying we're going to form a unified plan and we're going to get involved in this. Even the French showed up with a battle. Did you see that? The French showed up with an aircraft carrier. I think it's the only non-nuclear carrier in the whole world. And there it is, the Pepe Le Pew. And then, of course, the world trolled the Brits. They tried to act like they didn't want any part of it. Then we started winning, and they decided to show up. After the war was won, after the Navy threat was over, they go and send some help. Better late than never. I saw a meme the other day where somebody said we should let the French and the English take a couple of shots, and get involved at the end, just to pat them on the head, like those feel good movies when the little disadvantaged kid gets to run on the field for the last play of a game that's already won and get to play. Rudy. They're like the Rudy of NATO right now. Yeah, let them take a couple shots so they pat him on the head. Good guy, good going, Pierre. Thank you, buddy. Thanks, little buddy. Now go deal with all the people in your country that are going to commit suicide acts and all the suicide bombers and the ISIS threat. All right, okay, 5:17. Got on a little bit of a tear there. We'll go to the phones. I just saw the call starting to stack up. Bring them, and we'll get this done this afternoon. Distinctive Pools bringing you the show tonight too. Gary told me when I first met him, Gary Levesque owns this company, 40 years of building pools and hardscapes. And I always probe people that are coming on the show, man. I ask them a million questions. I need to understand everything about their business. And I've not forgotten a statistic. He said people will decide they're going to build a pool, like in the back of their mind, and start thinking about it and discussing it, but put it off for 3 to 5 years. I'm like, I get it. It's a big decision. It can be an expensive decision depending on how you want to build it. But man, you just missed 3 or 5 years of memories and grandkids and kids coming over to splash and entertaining your neighbors and friends during special occasions. And just go ahead and figure it out. Let Gary and his team get you a design. You need to know what you're going to build before you know what it's going to cost. Then they'll help you develop a budget. They've even got finance companies to help you make it happen and get to digging. This is a perfect time of the year to get it going. You'll have it really ready by the time the hot weather gets here and you're dying for a dip right there in your own yard. It's distinctivepools.com. This is the company you want to build it. Distinctivepools.com. Back here in just a minute. Y'all, Alabama Gold Refinery still over there doing deals with people. The gold market's been crazy. So is silver, just percentage wise. Silver's been on a huge run. Y'all go see Steve, get to know him. Then you'll have a reliable, safe, fair place to do this kind of stuff. If you've got extra things, gold, silver, platinum stuff, you just want to unload it. They are there to help you with those transactions in again, an honest, fair way. They'll trade metal for metal with you. They'll buy it from you. They'll sell it to you. A lot of people like to slowly build up their collection and their net worth, put a little bit of that in something as safe as these metals and be able to have them under their personal control. Y'all reach out to Steve and get to know him. Central location in Homewood, real easy to find from all over town. Just to give you a landmark, I always tell you they're across from that tall Regions building in Homewood on 29th. All the security you would expect for a place like this to go in and out with your things. And Steve's just a great guy to get to know. He's a total resource. I love people that are passionate and can just talk endlessly about what they're into and what their business is. And that's Steve, man. He can just be a wealth of information to help you understand the game, the precious metals game, all these commodities. It's AGR, AlabamaGoldRefinery.com, AlabamaGoldRefinery.com. Real quick, I want to get this in here. I'm going to get to rambling again in a minute and forget to. My favorite guy this week, and it's not even close, is this police chief, this New York City 2-star chief that is now just, he's been iconized, is that a word? in police folklore in New York City for going after those two bombers. You know, he jumped that barrier. This guy was just down there as a supervisor. He used to be a street cop, but he's given some comments today about what he did. Hailed as a hero by the whole city, everybody but the mayor, because the mayor's an idiot. Take a listen to this guy. I love this guy.
You know, we had to pivot from one type of policing to a different type of policing, and I think the way that we transitioned was really good. In terms of going viral, first off, I'm happy that I cleared that barrier. Okay, imagine if I fell. You know, but to me, it was just instant. I'm trying to get the bad guy. You know, I was in real pursuit trying to get him, and just, you know, the picture going viral. You know, I don't want that picture to be about me. I want it to be about the day. I want it to be about what we did. You know, I want that picture to be a reminder to New Yorkers that, you know, your cops, the members of the NYPD, you know, we're going to be relentless in pursuing justice, right? And there's going to be no obstacles. Nothing's going to stand in our way from protecting New Yorkers.
Man, this guy, just what an honorable dude. His whole approach to that, I love everything about that. I wish I could meet him. I'm going to try to meet him next time I go to New York, AJ. I think I got to go up there in June. Mm-hmm. I'm going to find this guy, give him a high five, buy him a beer. This guy will never pay for another beer in New York City. And look, I know he didn't, you know, stop a bullet, but he jumped this. I mean, he went into action like a 70s sitcom, and he's frozen in time. That picture was taken at the perfect moment. And his eyes, I mean, you look at his eyes in that picture and they are down range. He didn't lose sight of that guy. And I like his whole approach to it at the end. That's a total pro. And he is a credit to the policing, especially in that city. They got some of the finest cops in the world in that city. Too bad it's just so mismanaged. It's a terrible thing. All right, let me talk about this too. I don't know, I'm shifting gears quickly because I'm just shoving stuff in toward the end. There's about to be a big old shutdown of the bridge over Highway 280, and there was a delay in it. If you've been watching this bridge work, it's right around sort of that Mountain Brook area. They're putting in a new bridge. They got to tear down the old bridge and remove that center column, which, I mean, there have been people crash into that thing over the years and die. But it's part of an overall widening project, and they had to put this new bridge across. And so they're going to be doing that tear down to get that old bridge down starting on March the 20th. So we got 9 days, and they are going to close lanes in both directions. So if you're a 280 driver in any part of the day, they're going to have to route these lanes and close them. I think they're going to try to close one side, then the other side. So the way the story reads, 1819's got a piece on it today. The eastbound lanes, the outbound lanes will remain closed till March 22nd, starting on the 20th. Both lanes will be closed on the 20th, by the way. Then the westbound lanes will open each morning at 5, and then they're going to close at 11 o'clock at night. So they're trying to keep part of it open at a certain time period. And you just got to hope, they've got this thing staged in thought through and it goes smoothly and they get it done, because that's going to be a huge workaround for people trying to find their way into town. All the neighborhoods and surface streets, and maybe even I-20 for some folks, going all the way around on I-20 or taking 65 will be the only alternative. And so that'll put increased traffic on those ways into town as well. So just be aware of that. I'm sure there'll be a lot of talk about it. You know, they shut down Malfunction Junction at one point and the city figured it out. We thought that was just going to be apocalyptic, and people still figured out how to get around it. So it's just a couple of days, but that's important work. I've been paying attention to it. Sometimes I come through there at odd hours, but they're asking you to reroute on 459 and then go down to 65 and get back on Lakeshore. If y'all know the geography, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, and that's in both directions too, by the way. Bottom of the hour, we'll do this. We'll come right back, continue with your calls, continue with the headlines, and anything else we can come up with. Leland Live, Talk 99.5. Y'all stay tuned. All right, let's go ahead and get cranked up here at the 5:35 mark of the show. Michelson Laser Vision bringing you the show tonight. Most of you, if you're long-term listeners to the show, you've heard this story over and over and over, but it's just true. I was not a candidate, and when I walked in the door of Michelson to get laser surgery, I was not interested whatsoever. It seemed radical. It was kind of scary. I was a little bit squishy about it. I did wear glasses and contacts, and I had conditioned myself to think they were fine. They're fine. People would say, "Man, you should do LASIK," and I'd go, "No, I'm good with my glasses. I don't need them." But I was so wrong. It took really just going and doing the visit, because what they did was they put me through the education program so I'd understand the procedure and so I could talk about it on the radio. And then once I understood it, I went, wait a minute. And Dr. Michelson gave me an exam to see if I was even eligible, which is what you need to do too. Turned out I was an easy fix, and my confidence grew. I booked the appointment. One of the best things I ever did. I'm still 2015. I love being able to see this way, especially at my age. I still use readers because, again, that's a little bit of a trade-off. They can actually fix your eye for both near and far. I chose a different procedure. And again, it's only improved in the year since I did it. It's been going on 7 years now. They brought the Contura system on a couple of years ago, and it is stunning. It's almost like AI robot futuristic stuff where it figures out exactly in very granular detail what the cornea needs and makes those corrections. And people are getting miraculous fixes, even scar tissue from previous situations. They can clean that up at Michelson Laser Vision. Y'all go see him. Dr. Mark, just a wonderful guy and an absolute legend in that business, and his daughter, Dr. Jennifer, just great folks. And a wonderful team around him, too. MichelsonLaserVision.com. MichelsonLaserVision.com. All right, a couple other things. I got just pure randomness as we get the show closed out today. First, here's Trump in a surprise appearance. AJ, you'll know more about this than me, but I barely know who Jake Paul is, right? I know he's a YouTuber and he's boxed before.
Right.
He's got a big old beard and he dates a speed skater. That's all I know. I see him all the time. He's everywhere. Well, Trump just brought him up on the stage at the rally. He's got a suit on and he just showed up at the Trump rally. Is he known as a Trump guy? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. He's definitely known as a Trump guy. He was one of a supporter, especially around this time of this past election.
Okay. Well, here he is talking at the Trump rally. Trump put him up on stage.
Yeah, what Mr. Trump has taught me is courage. You know, we never back down from a fight, even if they're much bigger than you, much, much bigger than you. And I feel all the local Kentuckians feel the same way. You guys have that fight. You guys have that swag. There's a lot of young kids in here. The future of America. I grew up just a few hours away from here, and my dad taught me to fight. And all of our voices matter in America. And I'm never afraid to speak the truth, and I know you guys aren't. We are here representing the United States, and it's just a blessing. Thank you, Mr. Trump. We need more factories like this thriving all over the country, and I know he's going to be the one to bring that here to us. I know God is with us. I know he wants us on the right side of history. And everyone here has to do their part. And God's got us. Trump's got us. God bless. Love you, Kentucky.
Apparently Trump, when he brought him out, called him a hell of a fighter. So the thing is he from there? I'm trying to figure out how does he fit in with this mix.
They are from Kentucky.
So he's got a brother that's kind of famous too,
yeah,
right?
His brother wrestles in the WWE.
Okay, that's why I knew you would. You're more of the wrestling fan than I am. Well, I guess good on the kid. And I knew there had to be a nexus. He must be from that area. This area is right around Ohio and Kentucky.
Yeah, they're from Cleveland.
Cleveland, okay, that makes sense. Right across the border. Cool little town. Right up there by Noah's Ark and all that stuff. Y'all go do that trip sometime if you ever get a chance. That's pretty fascinating. All right, so there's that. And then I saw this. Let me try to shove this in tonight. I don't know if there's a bill like this. It seems like in the back of my mind I remembered a bill moving in Alabama along these lines. But this just came across from Channel 10 up in Tennessee in Nashville. Said a bill that would require Tennessee driver's license written exam to be offered only in English is advancing in the state legislature. And that's fascinating. This isn't, people are going to call it discriminatory, whatever. I think we give the Alabama driver's license in 44 languages. Well, then it becomes a safety issue. Now it's a bigger deal when it's the big commercial drivers and the huge trucks, and they can't read the signs, the warning signs, the lane change, all the lane shift signs. Having driven in a foreign country, I can tell you how disorienting that is. I mean, it'll blow your mind how just not understanding what some sudden change. You can follow your GPS, but it doesn't know some things that are on the ground, and y'all understand that. But I think this is just so common sense that I hope Tennessee passes it, and I assume Alabama's going to wait for 5 other states to do it. We always follow everybody else with stuff like this. And again, it's not just to weed people out, but it's public safety, man. We need to understand the basic rules of the road. We're not even asking people in that case to master the whole English language, but to be able to take the test and read the signs and comply with that makes you a safer person on the road. The problem is with a written test, I don't even know who takes a written test. I took a written test when I was 15, and that's every other time. And then the way we do driver's licenses is you do the road test when you're 16, and you don't ever get tested again. And we never retest. And there used to be an argument back in the day that at certain ages, people should have to go retest for vision and that kind of acuity to be able to be out on the roads. The problem is they don't have any real statistical evidence that elderly drivers are less safe than some of these people that can't read English. I've actually seen some statistical analysis that non-English drivers are more dangerous in some cases than people that are under the influence. It's just a mess. I wish we could get people to quit reading while they're driving, because I got behind one last night leaving the station right there on 280. This dude, he was about a quarter of a mile back behind all the traffic, giving himself space to stop. And I could see his freaking phone through his rear window. He was just sitting there, I don't know, researching the genetic code or doing something, everything but driving his damn car. And because of he was over in the far left lane, he was stacking up everything that was behind me was stacked up because I couldn't get around him, and they didn't know what was going on. And these fools, these are the ones I wish would get off the road. But anyhow, it's interesting to see that they're trying to push that through in Tennessee. I don't know how. Maybe it'll be effective in some ways. But again, I guess if you're a foreigner and you come here to get your first license, you do still have to take a written requirement. Just not sure how that works, but fascinating nonetheless. Here's our buddy Hunter over on line 1. What's up, Hunter? How you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Eyes on the road.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. What was terrifying to me was, during one of these ill-advised online debates about, English only for driver's testing.
Yeah.
I had all these people trying to tell me, hey, man, all the signs are in, iconography or,
no.
It's like, no. They're like, yeah, it's all symbols now anyway. And I'm like, you drive? You have a license? This is, I'm almost as afraid of those English-speaking drivers as I am of somebody who's coming from another country, can't read, and is, justifiably paranoid, right? But I can drive.
That's a good point.
I don't have to read.
Listen, even the symbols are confusing, because if you're from another country, I'll give Italy as an example. It's probably the one I've driven around in the most. With you get a little 5-speed, and everybody's driving a tiny car. Dude, they got signs. You'd have to spend a year explaining to me why they have signs that one looks like a well house, like a little well with a penis. And then one looks like a little bumpy. It's like Dolly Parton laying down. I don't know. What is that? A curve? Are there hills? I don't know what any of that stuff is. I didn't study it.
Yeah, look, I've only driven in England, and, you get over it's on the opposite side of the road, but what you don't get is they have conventions and rules that everybody accepts that are based on driving on the side of the road, and they're not written in English. They're like zigzags and curves and things, and you're like, is that a U-turn? That doesn't mean U-turn. There's no U-turn. But,
yeah.
The iconography is completely different, and it's based on a completely separate set of assumptions. But, the main thing is we in America do have complicated road signs. You've got to speak English or read English.
Yeah.
Follow them. And if you don't, even if you take the test in a foreign language and you speak that foreign language, it's not going to be able to convey well what it is we expect you to do as a driver. So, yeah, it's a no-brainer for me.
Or even when you get pulled over and have to interact with the police, all of those things are just, it's important that we're on the same page out there on the roads. that is beyond any kind of discussion about cultures or bigotry or, being non-inclusive. This is just freaking road safety. We all need to understand what we're doing out there. Good call, Hunter. Thanks, bro. Yeah, man, that's the real deal. Shane is in Hoover. Let's do a couple more calls. Shane, what's up, man?
Hey, Leland. Good to talk to you, and especially the hardest working man in Central Alabama, AJ.
Yep.
I mean, that guy. I don't know where you found him, but I'm going to hire him one day. I promise.
He found me. I mean, he found me out in the parking lot wandering around and said, y'all should hire this guy.
Hey, so CNN posted the story over the weekend about the bomb throwers, and they really padded it and framed it to make it look like something that it wasn't. They retracted that statement, but I think a couple months ago there was a CNN anchor that came on, and he was going to be the next Walter Cronkite. He was going to report the facts and only the facts. What happened to that guy?
What's his name? I don't know. They've got so many losers that have washed through that place.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
He came on, and everybody made a big deal about him, and he was saying that he's only reporting the news and factual evidence, and I guess he's gone. I don't know.
Well, maybe is he the one that raided the church in Minneapolis and got himself arrested? That one, that CNN anchor, that guy.
I don't know. I thought they were trying to do something, but
I don't know. They're a lost cause. They got to fire. I mean, you got to take that place over and fire everybody there. And it's not just the anchors; it's the people behind the scenes that write the scripts. Those people need to be gone. They could start over and make it. CNN was so landmark. I got books about how they started. Ted Turner got it going. Everybody thought he was a fool. They said, "Who's going to watch news all day?" Nobody. There's not enough news to do an all-day newscast. But he believed in it. It changed the world. They were the standard, and they were it forever. And now it's just this absolute Monty Python comedy routine every day.
And look, I'm the son of a Class 2 laborer at a steel mill, and I could read that article and tell that this is obviously, wow. Yeah, I mean, how much do we have to lay it on?
Well, they're losing audience. They've lost credibility. They've lost revenue, and they are not long for this world. So,
all right. Hey,
thanks, bro.
Keep up
Thanks,
the good
man.
work, AJ.
Good to hear from you, Shane. Shane with the shout out from my man, AJ. Stockton Mortgage. Let's talk about them real quick. SaveWithStockton.com, SaveWithStockton.com. That's a website they set up just for us here on the show so that when y'all reach out, they know it's coming from here and they'll get right back with you. I'm not saying they don't answer the other phone all the time, but they know when it's coming in hot from the Leland Live Show, they need to get on it, and they do. They'll get back with you quickly and help you ballpark. Some of you are ready to go. You've been planning it. The rates got below 6, and that was a benchmark. Go. If you're ready, you're ready. Some people just don't know where to start. You got a million questions. You're a little nervous. Everybody's nervous about any kind of lending and home stuff. Just, it takes a lot of the fear out of it when you get information, when you get some direction and some coaching. They can assess your general ideas of where you want to go and give you some program options that are out there, some of the products that they have. Just work with them. It's a simple phone call. Maybe you just want to do some of that to start with, to get involved, and they'll just hold your hand all the way through the close. It's SaveWithStockton.com, SaveWithStockton.com. All right, y'all, we're about to wrap this thing up. Southern Skies Dermatology ready to check you for skin cancer. We're about to get into the suntan, sunburn, sun exposure season with this nicer, warmer weather coming after this next cold snap. And you don't want to get out there and overdo it. So do the right thing. I mean, wear the sleeves and the hats and the sunscreen and protect yourself. Don't overdo it. And one of those things to make sure you're not a victim of skin cancer is to get checked. I mean, just to get that basic checkup. You don't need to wait till you see something. You're not trained to look, neither is your partner or your spouse. But the trained eyes at Southern Skies can tell you how healthy you are and whether you need to come back more often, or whether they spot something that you never in a million years would have thought was terrible, like a melanoma, and then they can rid you of it. The sooner you get there, the quicker they can heal you. And this is all they do. I love that. They're mission focused on saving people from skin cancer. Great locations all over town, and a new one on the way coming up pretty soon. I think I can tell you, I think they'll let me tell you that it's on the 280 area. As soon as they get a firm date for the opening of that, I will turn y'all loose and y'all can go see them there too. Southern Skies Dermatology, been on the show for years. I'd like to say they probably saved so many, just probably hundreds of lives over the years, just from this audience getting those early detection checks. SouthernSkiesDermatology.com, SouthernSkiesDermatology.com. All right, couple of little things. I'm trying to make sure I'm completely wrapped up here. By the way, this is a kind of a trivial story, but I keep seeing it. Bucky, and I'm not here to do an ad for him, but I do like popping in there sometimes. Bucky's got an F from some rating agency over their consumer response. And I just can't help but laugh at that story. I thought, why'd they get an F on it? It's not cleanliness. It's one of the cleanest sort of gas station stops you can make. Their bathrooms are impeccable. I used to hear years ago, have you ever heard this, AJ, that you can tell how good a restaurant is and how what's happening back in the kitchen if the restroom's clean?
Oh, yeah. Like some of the food reviewers, that's one of the things they do. They go to the restroom and see how clean it is. That will kind of give you a determination of like how they handle food.
They're handling the little things, and boy, Bucky's is that's what they advertise. Anyway, so they got an F, but it was on consumer response, a complaint response, and that they didn't respond to like 90 different complaints to Bucky's, just went unresponded to. And I thought about it, and I thought, that doesn't even bother me, because we live in such a whiny world. And can you imagine all the Karens that show up off the interstate just whining about their Bucky nuggets?
You ain't got no brisket sandwich.
Yeah, this brisket's cold.
Yeah,
I mean it's brisket.
I mean it's
still
been sitting
tastes
out.
good.
I mean, come on, like
shut up. People's expectations, and
like you still gonna eat it.
it's like people get in front of me at the drive-thru and they start arguing in the drive-thru about the details of their order. I'm like, dude, it's fast food. Right. It's all going to kill you. Just drive on. Yeah. It's supposed to be fast. You're making it slow. You're being a butthole. Get out of here.
Right. If you're going to make modifications, go inside.
Yeah. Take the pickles off and just move. But anyway, yeah, the Bucky's whiners. In the news. Somehow my camera just got all fuzzy. That's kind of how I feel right now.
Because the camera's like, man, screw these folks.
The camera's like, well, if he doesn't care, I'm just going to take the afternoon off. I don't know what's going on with that thing. Sometimes it goes into a weird focus mode, and I just look like I'm in a dream.
You look like, the end of one of those medicine, those ads.
Like when I'm in the background?
Yeah, like if you be itching or...
if you take Quindarathex, you might get nasal drainage, vaginal drainage, anal drainage, death.
At the end of the spot when it phases out and you get this, all you see is the logo. That's what it
Suicidal
looks like.
thoughts, only because I saw the bill for this stupid drug.
And then you just turn to the on-air microphone and you start talking. Yeah. Theratrax.
If I had my other camera, I'd turn to the other camera and go, I know I feel better with Quindarathex.
And then it fades into that fuzzy.
Yeah. It's usually like a dog and then a whole song playing. And then they'll botch one of the classic rock songs that we all grew up with. And which one was doing? There was one that was just ruining a song I grew up with lately. It wasn't Wegovy. It was. They changed the lyrics and just rewrite the song about that stupid drug.
Yeah.
The people that wrote that song were like rebels against all of humanity and society. And they were fighting the machine. Now they're taking pharmacy money and letting them karaoke their damn song about a drug with a bad name that I don't even know what it does. You ever watch those commercials? You don't know what the drug does?
You know, I'm sitting here. Okay, first of all, if I'm in an ad, right, for a pharmaceutical drug, and most of the drug, right, it's like 2 minutes long, but and they talk about all the things that can go wrong, but the person is over there happy and in the park
Well, I
on
guess
a
he's
date.
okay. Yeah.
It's like, bro, you know that thing's about to fall off, right?
Yeah.
Like,
My penis fell off, but I'm in the park with my dog, and I'm okay.
right, his girlfriend's still in love with him. It's just like, come on now, this is not real.
And it may not even be a girl. I mean, it's just 2026. One more time for Lanius Furniture Company, Launius, LaniusFurnitureCompany.com. Y'all get on up there and see them in Kimberly. They'll help you with anything in your home. These are just some of the best. Forget the store and that it's an acre and it's some of the most beautiful stuff you've ever seen. When you get to know them, just good, sweet, small town people that really know their stuff and are not pushy and just, it's like you go into your grandma's house and you want to be, they just going to make you at home. They do everything but make you a plate of dinner and show you around, and you'll just, the experience alone is worth it. They're just kind and they get it, and they just really, really sincerely want you to be happy, so you keep coming back. That's where I want to shop. That's where you ought to shop. It's Lanius Furniture Company, LAUNIUS, LaniusFurnitureCompany.com, off exit 280 on I-65. Rain starting to come down. It's going to be stormy tonight. Could be Lionel Richie style. Y'all know what I mean by that?
All night long.
That's right. All night long. Y'all be careful.
All right.
And we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Stay tuned for Break a Break coming up next. Goodbye, AJ.